Joe.
Hello, welcome to our Charles and Joe show today.
Welcome to
Yes,
another week. I'm loving it.
yes, absolutely. And today we're going to talk. We had a lot of people asking about information about archangels, so we thought we would do another segment or little section on archangels today. So,
Yes, there's been a lot of feedback on Archangel, so that's been a good thing. And this is more your specialty, Joe, than my specialty, isn't it? Because you talk to a lot of them, and we had a bit of a discussion last week about a special one that you have that comes into you, and I've never heard of her. And it's just like, and then I Googled her. It's like, oh my God, she's there, and she does all this amazing stuff. So let's start our
yes.
discussion on archangels.
Okay, so the one we were talking about when we were having a chat was Archangel Amethyst.
Yes.
So, yeah, so she came into one of my healings, and I was like, and she had like a purple looking and like a diamond purple violet flame around her, and I
Yep.
was just like, oh, hi, like because sometimes you don't know, you know,
Yes.
I often sometimes don't know, are they just attached to that person, and they're in the room for the person I'm helping, or is she coming in to help me? Or yeah, I mean, not help just me. She's coming in to help the person, but is she
Coming to
going to
help the
be?
session.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, so when Archangel, and I know it sounds a bit silly, but I always double check and ask, column of white light from God through them to make sure that they are in their highest, purest form, because you don't know, like sometimes, especially if you've not had any dealings with them. So
Yep.
Archangel Amethyst, she came in and she was like, I'm here to help. And this person that I was helping would just stay in the patterns. Like she was very victimy, wouldn't see anything good in herself. She was in a high position, and I was like, oh my gosh, for her company, she really needs some help to get moving, like out of this little funk she was in.
Yep.
So I just remembered saying to my team, call in whoever you need to help this lady, because it's not that she was a prickly person. So you had to say things very particular because she wouldn't, she was just like,
Sensitive to words, so you've got to really pick your words.
yeah. So Archangel Amethyst came in and she had her eyes closed. And I said, are you seeing any color right now? And she said, all I can see is purple. So then that gave me leverage to say to her, well, that's interesting because there's an archangel that's come in, and all I can see is purple. And I said to her, amethyst color, but I didn't even know at that point,
Yep.
So anyway, she placed all her ascension energy on her. And then there was another archangels behind her, but I was like, oh, I don't know who you are either. Or I couldn't fully see them, but I thought, oh, maybe, they're learning, teaching. Now, afterwards, when I Googled it all, that was Archangel Sadkiel, which is
Ah, okay.
yeah, with her. But what Archangel Amethyst does is she like brings her violet purple flame along the body. Now she's also affiliated with Lady Portia, and Lady Portia is associated with karma and the higher heart. So I feel like she serves under Archangel Amethyst, but she's also within her whole aura of herself. But
Yeah.
they are like, so Archangel Kill is her twin flame, and they also do the seventh ray of light. So it's really like high vibrational stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like purification. So this lady just got tainted and bitter and was a bit stuck in it all. So it's like, and I said to the lady, because again, I didn't know what she was really doing here. And I was like, oh, so what do you think the purple light's doing for you? And she said, it's clearing away. I'm stuck. And I went, great. Well, with your breath, let go of all the things you're stuck with.
Mhm.
And that's where, she said, I'm so stuck, Joe. I went, you are. And then, I could see tears rolling down the side of her face because she was laying on my table. And she said, I've got it all wrong. I've been stuck. And I went, yeah. Anyway, and I said, ask the purple, because I've got to be a bit careful with that particular client, because she can't see archangels, then she will just say they're foo-foo. So
She questions it until she can see it for herself. Everything's questioned.
yeah. And I said, let the purple energy sweep away. And she goes, oh my gosh, I can feel a breeze, Joe. So this was really great for her to
Yeah.
it's changed her life, because now she's pivoting and going in the direction that she's meant to be going in.
Yeah.
And it's just every part of her life is now back to being good, like in flowers and rainbows and bright. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she's
Where
back in flow, back where she needs to be.
very much so. So if you're call, you can call anyone can call in Archangel Amethyst, anyone at all, and you can call her in if you're stuck, if you need purifying, if you're wanting to increase your ascension energy, meaning your vibration. She's good for for clarity, for cleansing, for expanding your consciousness, particularly if you're wanting to become more clairvoyant or intuitive or psychic. She can help with that. So it's that's good, but they also can help you with like your heart chakra. So if you feel like you're stuck in what you think the world's limitations are,
Yeah.
then you can ask her for help with that. They also have their own temple in that heavenly realms, and that temple is for purification and forgiveness. So if you feel like you've done something in your life that you're not sure of, or you've got a past life where one lady, I shouldn't laugh about it, but one lady goes, I have done bad things in my past lives, because if there's something that could happen, it will happen to me. And I then called in, because this was down the track, I called in Archangel Amethyst to, bring in her healing temple to help clear away the karma. Because I think sometimes when you go from heaven, you kind of go, I'll do it all in this lifetime. And you don't realize how you're too eager and it's too hard in this one lifetime.
Overwhelming because you've got to do too much in 100 years. And it's just like, what was I thinking in the spirit world? Because I'm never going to achieve all of that in one lifetime.
No. And it's too hard, especially if you feel like you've had a lot of bad luck. So
Correct.
yes, you can ask to go in to her temple of healing and purification. And when we did this for this lady, she said, even my drink was half on the table, Joe. Now, back in the day, it just would have smashed off. She said, but the drink stayed there. So I had to laugh at her, So, yeah. And then
See the
Archangel,
shift though, Joe? See the shift? Usually
yes,
that drink would have just smashed off, but now she's seeing it with different eyes. So
yes,
Archangel Amethyst has changed, a belief in her. She's changed something, perception, whatever it might be, that the client
yes.
now sees it in a much more positive way.
Yes, because I talked to her a lot about, and that's a really good point you talked on, Charles, about your vibration. Because I actually think, when people go, oh, that person died, I bet you another person will die, or it comes in threes, or all that sort of stuff. And I go,
Yeah.
no, cancel that. That's just you're vibing to that then, and then you don't want that. So
Yeah, correct. Don't
yeah,
create that for yourself because that's what you're going to create. So let's not even go there. That's why people
yes,
need to understand words of power. So it's good that Archangel Amethyst has had a profound effect. And the best part, Joe, was she didn't see her, you did, but she could see the violet energy.
yes,
And that's the
yeah,
power in itself. So that's a great lesson to take away, guys. If you're watching, but you can't see things, but you see a color, the color could
yes.
be representative of an archangel. Okay?
Mm,
So go.
mm.
Who else, Joe? Who else do you work with? And then we can
Yeah,
talk about colors because I've got a list of archangels and colors and all that sort of stuff.
yeah, and I think also with it sometimes, like, archangels will send you lots of little things. Like it could be a butterfly, like to try and lift your spirits. It could be many things apart from colors as well. So I think, when I see the number 33 all the time, I kind of go, oh, like, Yeshua or Christ light is around me. So, yes, I think there's lots of things about, the signs of everything. So the other one that I love to call in a lot is Archangel Merlin or Master Merlin. And he uh and he also has a whole lot of dragons that will come in with me to help clear and heal people. But it's like we've lost a little bit of magic in humanity. Like,
We have.
so I bring him a lot into just to. It's like to give everyone a little bit of a shimmer, like just to bring back their magic and their joy. This year has been incredibly hard for people to see the good and to feel their good inside of them, just because it's been a really relentless year so far. And I think also because life is going so quickly, It's like, if I kind of have the analogy like on a pie conveyor belt. And right now it's only June and you're just standing there going, I don't care if the pies fall off now. I can't
Yeah.
even keep up.
And that's the nervous systems, and that's why people
Yeah.
need to connect with archangels and people like
Yes.
that can help them slow their nervous systems down, help them just breathe and just be present to get
Yes.
stuff done, and just maybe just hold their hand a little bit, nurture them a little bit so that they see life with different eyes.
Yes. So, yeah, Ascended Master Merlin, he just brings in that magic and mystery.
Yeah.
And he's ninth dimensional, but he's just bringing in that energy of anything can happen, and just to bring that excitement back into your life. And when you call in Ascended Master Merlin, he is like a shimmery grey blue energy, and so is his dragon. So I often think he will come in just to lift your energies up and to find the good. So, and to bring back your magic and mastery.
Bingo. Help you find that magic inside of you that
Yes.
sometimes we don't see and we feel lost by it. So, okay. So this is good because Merlin sometimes will come into my healing space. I've never had Archangel Amethyst, but I get the regulars, the Michaels, the Raphaels, Uriels, Gabriels, all of those types.
Perfect.
Sometimes I'll speak to Metatron or Sandalphon to say, come on, come into this person's existence, come into this person's being. You've had life on this planet. You know what it's like. See it
Yeah.
from, excuse me, see it from their perceptions, help them shift it, help them change it. So it's very interesting. But I don't play a lot with the archangel. So who else will you play with? Who else comes into your healing sessions though that's not the everyday?
Yes. Miriam, Miriam is Moses's sister, and Miriam, I call she when she comes into my room, she calls it the Miriam effect, and I was just like, I don't know who Miriam is, like kind of thing. So again, asked to make sure, And then when that person left, it was my lunch break. So I was like, don't go, stay with me. Like, tell me who you are. And so she goes, the Miriam effect is where she also makes magic happen.
Yeah.
But it's like she's one of the seven prophets in the Bible. I remember her saying, I'm a prophet. And I was like, oh, and then when I googled it, it does say in the Bible that she's one of the seven prophets of women's prophecies and things. So she helped Moses like really clear the ocean so that people could walk through. But she gave Moses the belief that he could do it, like if that makes sense. So she's like the behind the scenes kind of girl. But she also it's like her energy will come in and she does a figure of eight energy from your heart chakra to your heart chakra to your solar plexus. And Belinda Grace touched on this, the figure of eight, when we did her healing.
Yeah.
And I often, every time I see Belinda, I often forget to ask her whether she knows about Miriam, because Miriam did that for the person that was on my healing table. And I was like, oh, I wonder if Belinda is associated with the Miriam effect. But yeah, the Miriam effect also, I just wanted to make sure if I forgot anything about Miriam here.
Would you
And I
consider
find
her
it,
an archangel, Joe, or just a spirit? What would you consider her? What what,
I would
what classification would you give her roughly?
I would give her an ascended master.
Okay.
So yeah, so she's higher than an archangel.
Yeah.
Um, and it's also, Miriam is trying to give you your faith back in yourself and to remember why you came to Earth and what your mission was. Now,
Good with your purpose.
everyone's, yeah, your purpose, and everyone's mission is different. So, like, one lady said to me, oh, I'm just meant to smile at people and make everyone feel happy. And she was a breathtakingly beautiful lady. And I said, you know what? I think you're right. And she goes, I think God gave me a really beautiful smile, because she said, I do feel when I smile at people, I give people a really uplifting lift. And I went, I think you're 100% correct. So, and she travels the world. She works on super yachts. So she,
And
travels
see,
the world.
she gets it, Joe. She gets it because your life purpose is something very simple That's all it is.
Yes.
Nothing. Your life purpose is not, I need to make $1 million. I need to be the
No.
richest person on the planet. I need to have all the possessions. No. It's just like,
No.
I need to make people smile or feel good about themselves or give them love or help people understand who they are or something. It's simple. It's just simple. So I love her. She gets it on many, many levels.
Yeah. And she lives an extravagant life. Like, I was like, don't know what a super yacht looks like. And she goes, oh, like, anyway. And then so I was like, let me Google what it looks like. Anyway, she goes, yeah, the one I work with on, her owner wants it fully manned all the time, but he would be lucky to spend 6 weeks out of 52 on it.
Wow.
So she said, so often we're not doing anything other than enjoying ourselves.
Yep.
But he always wants her on the ship because he goes, you make my heart happy. Now, there's nothing romantic between her and her boss, but
He
he
just
goes, you
feels
make my heart
uplifted
happy.
by her energy, by her
Yeah,
smile or her presence. He's feeling
yeah,
empowered. He's feeling uplifted. That's how
yeah.
simple it has to be. It doesn't have to be anything like that.
No, yeah. So, and also Miriam helps with clearing your DNA from past generational patterns. So I get
Oh, okay.
Miriam in a lot when I kind of, if the ladies had domestic violence or there's alcoholism and whatever, I'll often say to her, was your mum or your nan like that? She'll say, yeah. So it's like Miriam will go from the crown chakra of the person upwards and she clears away the DNA. So then it stops it in for the last generation here,
So
like
the
if that
next
makes sense.
generation that comes through doesn't have to have that as well.
Doesn't have it.
She's
Yeah.
the Miriam helps you clear it once and for all.
Yes, yeah. So yeah. And then the other one that I really love that again, I didn't even know they existed because it's not the normal one, is Archangel Nathaniel.
Oh, I've heard of
So
him.
yes. So yeah, so I didn't know he's a heart chakra one. And he helps you and I think I got Archangel Nathaniel because I'm a procrastinator.
Yep.
And I can faff about and leave it to the last minute to do anything. So he is the one that came in for me and he was like, let's just get it done. You've just been like, I remember I had a day off and I had to submit this thing by 4 o'clock and I didn't sit down till 3 o'clock to do it. And then I was just
That's
in
what
a
about.
big panic. And he was like, why do you do this? And I go, I don't know. I'm self-sabotaging, obviously. And then I think it's also because I'm possibly a little bit ADHD and you want to leave it to the last minute. So I'm getting better at that. But even like yesterday, I was supposed to put all my courses on my Facebook, for example, and I faffed about all day. And then I was like this morning when I was having brekkie, I was like, okay, Archangel Nathaniel, I really need your help. I want to put these all on there. And in the pottery shop, I was in the pottery shop today, and I was fibbing about, not doing anything. And then he's like, sit and do it. And I was like, oh, like,
So
so
he gave
he's
you
really,
enough time. He gave you enough time to try and do it by yourself. And when you didn't, it's like, come on, Joe, let's go.
yes,
Focus, Dove,
yeah.
focus.
And it's like he sat me, I felt like I had a seatbelt on my chair because I was like, oh, maybe I could just get a coffee in it. And I was like, oh, no, I can't. I need to
I've
stay.
got to do
So,
stuff. He's holding me there. I love it,
yeah,
Joe. I
yeah.
love
So
it.
I get Nathaniel, and he's also when you're like I call him in when one of my friends who does pottery, she had lost her passion. She'd done this big consignment commission, that's the word, where she was paid to do this big thing and she had lost her mojo for pottery because it took the joy out of it because she had all this stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me just pop into alchemy and let me just give you a little shush up and ask Archangel Nathaniel just to bring back your joy and passion for what you're meant to be doing. And then and again, she's not a lady that she believes in it but not fully. And she's like, oh my gosh, when I went home from you, I got on my wheel and I just did 5 hours straight of wheel work. And I was like, perfect. So,
Right?
yeah,
Passion comes back.
yes, very much so. So, yeah. So they're my favourite ones at the minute. I always love Mother Mary. She's or Archangel Mary. Everyone has a different one. Anytime when you feel like you just need a girlfriend's love or a hug from a mother-like figure, ask Mother Mary to put her blue cloak of ascension, which is like an aqua color, around you, and it just cocoons you in her love and makes you feel good. So
I'm going to throw some at you, Joe. I'm going to throw some at you and see if you use them because I've got their names and what they do. So
sure.
Jophiel. Now, for inner peace, anger management, and anxiety. Helps you
Mhm.
with self-esteem, confidence, and joy. Do you ever use him?
Archangel Jophiel is the crown chakra, in charge of the crown chakra.
Okay.
So I call him in all the time. If someone's really angry, bitter, they're not grounded, they've got brain fog, they've had trauma from their inner children, because that's in the limbic system here. So Archangel Jophiel is crown chakra. So I always call him in with his beautiful healing energy for the crown.
Okay, good. Now,
Yeah.
the next one we've already talked about, Zadkiel. So Zadkiel,
Setkiel.
and she's got here, violent flame, high frequency,
Yeah.
spiritual energy. So you'll
Yeah.
use, do you ever use Zadkiel without Archangel Amethyst, or do you
I
use them
did
as a combination?
I did before I knew about Amethyst, before she
Okay.
came into my healing room. Um, Archangel Sadkiel, I love to use him when someone doesn't think before they speak, and they've caused a lot of um,
Um,
harm in their life and bitterness.
yeah.
So I kind of connect his, like, the throat chakra, which is Archangel Michael in charge of, but the throat chakra with the thoughts. So it's like just trying to connect them in, so they're not creating a big hole, damaging life.
Think before you speak. Think
Yes.
before you speak. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. The next one, darling. Azrael, with death, dying, and all of that sort of stuff, the major transition. Have you ever had to get his assistance at all in your healings? It's not somebody that I've ever
Uh,
worked with.
yep. So I call him in when someone is stuck on someone's who's died, particularly if it's a child or a lover. And because sometimes someone will be talking about that someone's died, and the grief that they feel, that I'm feeling from them, it's like they died within the year. But sometimes it's like they'll say to me, like one lady, I was astounded. She goes, "Oh no, it was 22 years ago." But the grief that I felt from her, it felt
Yesterday.
so. Ugh. So I'll call in him to help clear that, because they'll get to heaven and then they'll be like, "Oh my God, I got stuck on the death and I didn't live my whole life, you know, for me." So so often I'll do that just to kind of get them to move on a bit. Um, and also when there's suicide, suicide is so sad for everyone involved. When someone crosses over and they come back in the reading for me, I can't help it. Now, that I don't say this out loud, but I say it to the person who's suicided. Do you regret your decision? Not the only, sorry, my apologies. Only one person has said to me no. Every other, and there would be hundreds, every other person that has suicided went, "I made the wrong decision." So so that's just me being a busybody, really, because I'm so curious about the suicide thing, how it all works. And I get that, but I often say to people who are seeing me and I touch on suicide, I go, "This time will pass. But if you choose to suicide, will not pass. That's it. It's final." And I really think you should consider. Now, I always pass them on to, psychologists and
Counselor.
healthcare counselor people. But, I just say it won't fix your problem. It will be given to you the next lifetime and you'll have to sort it out again.
It comes back.
So,
It's not dealt with. You're just putting it on pause, and it's a very heartbreaking thing. So okay, so
yeah,
Azrael, that's good. So if people are suffering with that, Azrael, guys, is somebody that you can call in to help
yeah,
clear that. And it might not clear it, but it might make it easier to live with. Do you know what I mean? It might just make their
yes,
existence easier.
very much. And it just, I guess the word that he says to me, I'll give them relief.
Yeah.
So it might not be, but it might give them like five. It might start off with just 20 minutes of relief of, and then it will expand it out. But yeah, he's a good one with grief, particularly for mamas.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Heniel, Archangel Heniel. Have you
Don't
used
use
Heniel?
Heniel.
Okay.
No.
So he's about spiritual knowledge and wisdom and communication through clear perception. So
Oh my
again, third eye in the throat, pale blue and a moonlight color. So that's Haniel. I've never used him. Have you ever used Raguel? Archangel
Yeah,
Raguel.
Raguel. Yes. So Raguel is. Are they saying that Raguel is like a turquoise bluey green color? So what they say
A
he
palely
has.
blue and whitey color. Palely blue and white.
Yeah. So yeah. So for me, for him, he's really good at finding lost things,
Okay.
and
Yep.
that's what he says to me. If I can't, if a lady comes to me and goes, "I've lost a ring," where would it be? I'll ask him, and he's quite good at,
Oh,
and I have to keep saying, "Oh, it's not me. I didn't do it. I don't." He's showing me in my third eye where it is. So
good.
yeah.
And what this amazing book is from a lady who's completely deaf, and her
Ah,
senses that I've got here. And so she's been from a very young age connected to the angelic world, and this is her um, advice to me on who the archangels are. So she's got for Raguel as well. He wants to bring justice and harmony, heals conflict between relationships, between friends, family, work colleagues, etc. So as you said, with the justice and harmony, that's also about finding lost things because it's like I'm out of balance because I can't find things and it's throwing me into disarray. So a
yeah.
very interesting archangel there. Last one I've got here, Jeremiah. Archangel
Um,
Jeremiah.
Yes, I don't use him much. I did call on him. I can't remember why I called on him. Does he help with money? I feel like they're
No,
showing me
he
money stuff.
Jeremiah's prophetic visions, psychic abilities, and clairvoyance. So he really wants to help you because his
Yep.
color is dark purple. Take it up. So he
Nice.
might work with like Zadkiel, Archangel Amethyst. So he might be a part of that team. Remember you said when you were talking about Archangel Amethyst and she had people behind and you weren't sure. He might be a
Yes.
part of that group because he's about
Yeah.
the third eye, dark purple in color, but helping you with your psychic abilities and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes. And one that I love all the time that I'd love everyone to use because our I want to say go as far as saying our DNA is upgrading this year. Like
Yeah.
as a race, I think we're vibrating higher. And I think that our chakras are tearing a lot due to the quickness of life and the fast pace. So, you can call on Archangel Raphael, which is, I shouldn't, she would hate me saying that she's a common archangel. That's terrible to say, but she's one that you can call on to repair your chakra systems. In between if there's chakra tears, and also if you feel like I guess the word is discombobulated, you can't get it together and you feel
Yep.
all overwhelmed. Just ask her to place you in her beautiful green healing, like a bubble for 3 or 4 days. And it's like she just realigns or upgrades your DNA so you can actually
Function.
feel more comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Function, flow, get on with life and make it happen for yourself. And they're not, it's just, we don't say that they're common. It's just they're every day. Does that make sense?
Yes.
People know them. There's like the big four, your Michaels, your Raphaels, your Gabriels, your Uriels. They're the ones that most people have heard of. That's why we
Mm.
wanted to go a little bit deeper today and just bring up some of the others that, haven't been discussed before, people are not aware of.
Yeah.
But trust me, there's going to be more than what we've discussed
Oh,
because
heaps.
I feel like what you're saying, Joe, is as humanity evolves, so are they. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. And I think, um, in terms of like, how can I say it? I feel like with the archangels now, before you had to meditate to go into their temples, like you'd have to meditate, go high. When I first did that in the early 2000s, I'd have to sit and get my vibration really high, and then I could go up in the white light into the temples. Now they're bringing those temples into my healing room for people to sit in their temples on earth.
Yep.
So I believe that um, the energy is now high enough for them to access earth better and to bring in the vibrations.
Consciousness has risen so that these
Yeah.
healing spaces can be present on this planet. And it's much
Yes.
easier for us to utilize them instead of us, as you said, having to meditate, get our vibration higher so that we can go and ascend to that and heal there.
Mm.
So, yeah, there's a shift. And that's why I think it's great that we have these discussions so that people can know who to pull in to help that consciousness continue to rise.
Yeah. And even, you and me, we would have been in the times where we probably had our own temples, especially in Atlantean times.
Yep.
So I know now, even with my energy in my room, I can really even activate my temple that I had in the Atlantean energy. And I can't keep it there forever. I have to close it down and then reopen it when I'm back in the room. But yeah, I had a client, and this client's quite intuitive, and they were like, feels like temple energy in here. And I went, could be. Anyway, and then they kept going, you sure it's not temple energy in here? Because it feels like a temple in here. And I went, yeah, I do have it set up. I said, but this is something that, not that I'm playing with, because it is very serious, but up until this year, I hadn't been able to bring in. I could, if I was meditating on my own, I could bring my temple into my space, but
Yep.
I could never hold it enough to do it, to hold it all day, where now I can hold it in my space to keep my room temple like. So
How powerful is that?
I think so. But it's just for the good of my people that are seeing. That's all. It's
Of
not,
course. And
you know,
that's the key, Joe. Not everybody's going to be needing the temple energy. Does that make sense?
no,
You'll have a select client group that's ready for that energy, whereas not everybody's going to be ready for that energy.
no. And that's another thing where you've got to be careful. Like, some people who are very fearful, that needs to go. Clear that. Let's just have white light, God's or the divine creator's white light in the room,
Yep.
because you don't want to give them way too much. Then they're not, you know.
Because it'll swing it the other way. If they're
Yes.
worried, it's just going to take them to the other extreme. And it's just like, we can't be doing that. We've got to be very delicate with what we give.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, so it's very interesting. I love archangels. I think, if there's interest, we should do an archangel little webinar or seminar or
Yes.
something.
Little workshop
Little
about how to
workshop.
invoke them, and we might even do some like meditation stuff. And as you
Yeah.
said, we might bring in Archangel Amethyst through a meditation so people can help purge stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
serve their highest goods. And if anybody's sitting in grief, we can bring in Azrael to help them shift that and clear that.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments, guys, if you'd like to participate in something like
Yes.
that, and an online webinar and a workshop. So let us know, give us a thumbs up and comment, because I'll reply to all the comments. We look forward to seeing them. And don't forget
Yes.
to like, share, and subscribe. So, Joe, have you got any workshops or anything like that coming up, my love?
Yeah, if you go to my website, joanneplater.com.au, I've got a few coming up. So I've got a 5-day clairvoyant retreat in September. I've got a level 1, level 2, and a Masters of Holy Fire Reiki. If you can't do the 5-day retreat of the clairvoyant one, then you could do it one Sunday a month at Alchemy. So you have to be around Bellingen to do that one. And then I've also got in November a manifesting day planned as well. So yeah, so it's pretty busy for the back end of the year. But yeah, if you head to my Joe Plater Clairvoyant page on Facebook, or if you go to my www.joanneplater.com.au, you'd see them all there. What about you, Dale?
I'll pop the websites in the description, guys, if you haven't picked
Oh,
it up.
thank you.
I am running Palawa on July 11 and 12. So Palawa 1 and 2, that's all the entunements, lunches. So that's on the weekend, and it's limited to 4 people. So if you're interested, just email me. And from August, I will also be running my You Are Clairvoyant class for 7 weeks. It'll be on a Tuesday night between 7 and 9, and we play for about 2 hours. And you get to open up your third eyes and learn all the amazing tools and techniques. And the person that starts on week 1 won't be the same person that finishes on week 7. So it's very different. So that will be on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and I'll pop it on the website. So if you're interested, just hit me an email, amantimoon@gmail.com. Guys, thank you very much for your time. Joe, thanks for your wisdom with the archangels. I love it.
Oh, and yours too. You use them as well. So yeah. So
It's been great.
yeah, I love it all.
All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week for more on the Charles and Joe Show. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.